Is it honestly too late to buy a Quest 2? With the influx of new users buying the Quest 2 and the Quest 2 nearing now 10 million total sales, it's not at all surprising that many of you who have likely just purchased a Quest 2 or are at least considering it would be upset at the reveal of a brand new and an infinitely better headset in the form of the Quest 3, which is unfortunately kind of what just happened. In today's video, I'm going over the impending release of the Quest 3, why Quest 2 users should care, and which headset you should be currently investing in. And if you watch my videos, you probably know what I'm going to say next. Synth Riders, being the best Quest 2 game of all time, sent me yet another key to give away to you guys. All you have to do to win is drop a comment down below on what you are planning to do in regards to the Quest 3. Will you be returning your Quest 2, selling it, holding on to it, waiting for the release of the Quest 3 instead, or just not buying a Quest at all and jumping ship to a different manufacturer? I want to know, and of course, make sure you've liked and subscribed, as I'll be picking people from my subscribers list. So for those of you just completely out of the loop, Mark Zuckerberg back in February engaged in an interview with the information reporters where he revealed that Facebook Reality Labs are currently spun up working on the Quest 3 and even the Quest 4. He also talked about some of the features that we can expect to see from them, such as face tracking and eye tracking, which was previously revealed back in 2019, as well as full body tracking, varifocal lenses, and a HDR display. Check out my Quest 3 video, which should be up here, I think. If you want to know more about these features, I show off a bunch of the tech actually working from the panels back in 2019 with Oculus's prototype headset, and go over generally what Mark said in the interview. Or don't, because you don't like my videos, and I don't like them either. I don't blame you. After uploading that video, I don't think I've ever been more bombarded with panic messages in my Discord, my Twitch streams, my Twitter, even my Instagram messages from Quest 2 users panicking about the worth and relevance of their brand new shiny Quest 2. On top of all of this, market analysts have begun gaining insider info on the impending release of the Quest 3. Now, I don't blame you for panicking. I mean, for many, this headset is an expensive investment, and to have it be rendered kind of useless in comparison to a newer model is a big slap in the face. Right now, it's just a weird time generally to buy a VR headset, with the Valve Index still priced at $1,000 even 2 entire years after launch, and now lagging behind even the $300 Quest 2 in capability, lacking wireless support, sporting a lower res display, worse lenses, and a host of hardware issues that have still been seemingly ignored by Valve, not to mention the new HTC headsets being virtually completely geared towards an enterprise market. I mean, if you watch their reveal, you'll know what I mean. Business. And being a similar price, if not more than the Index, while lacking any truly big generational improvements. Right now, choosing what VR headset to buy is a huge pain in the ass, and hopefully I can provide at least some reassuring perspective to those of you panicking about what to do. At the end of the day, I'm a fucking chimp with a camera, but I'm gonna try and help you out here. Also, on the topic of jumping ship, it was announced during the editing of this video, hence the change of clothing, that Facebook are now beginning to run ads in certain games within the Quest headset. This will be a huge no-no for some people, myself included, so it's worth definitely taking this into account if you're planning on sticking with Facebook as a VR platform by buying the Quest 3 or now committing to the Quest 2. It is important to note that Facebook are purely doing this based on the data that they have. Over the next few years, Facebook are going to continue to test ads to see how many they can push into VR before they see negative data from individual users. The same goes with YouTube. You've likely already seen about 2 ads through this video so far, as YouTube analyzes how long you've watched the video, how you've responded to past ads and past ad placement, calculate how many to keep showing you before it ends up causing a negative reaction from the user. So to put this into perspective, on average, it takes around 5 entire skippable ads in the space of just a 10-minute video before engagement from you, the viewer, drops off. And you'll likely see a similar response from Facebook in regards to how many ads they can put in your Quest before you end up throwing it at a fucking wall. Definitely take this into consideration when getting a Quest headset now, because this has definitely changed the game a little bit, especially since Steam VR or any Steam VR headsets haven't announced plans for putting ads in front of your face inside the headset yet. Now Facebook has, so that might drastically change the outlook of this video. This came out while I was editing it. I'm going to cut back to the rest of the video now. Just keep this advertisement issue in mind. So just off the bat, when's the Quest 3 coming? Unfortunately, for those of you with Quest 2s, especially if you've just recently picked one up, Quest 3 seems like it could be a year or even a little less than a year away, according to recent market analysts, as well as past statements by Facebook Reality Labs chief Andrew Bosworth. Now, this might be fine news to some of you. I mean, a year can be quite a long time for some people. I mean, 2020, Omega All. Though for some of you, where buying a Quest 2 is a big investment, similar to investing in a new console, I mean, the same price, knowing that it's going to be superseded by a headset promising better performance, eye tracking, face tracking, varifocal lenses, improved FOV, and more in possibly less than than a year is definitely a depressing thought, especially when in the console market, you're looking for at least 6 years of dedicated support before being essentially replaced. And knowing that many of at least my younger audience likely having chosen this over the new consoles, seeing it phase from importance just in less than a year sucks. That said, Andrew Bosworth attempted to reassure current Quest 2 owners that the headset will be supported for years to come. However, this does feel like damage control in an attempt to keep people buying the Quest 2 to help hit that 10 million units sold, as Facebook has said in the past that this is a very important number for them to hit as it represents the market's interest in VR. I guess they have some investors riding on this number. Kind of sad that it has to be put on just one number to represent the whole VR market, especially when it's taken so long to try and get going in the first place. But yeah, sure, hit 10 million, suddenly VR is important. I mean, they sure as hell aren't going to tell you to just hold off for the time being. I mean, they need to sell as many of these as humanly possible. Most of you will remember what happened with the Quest 1 when the Quest 2 released. Facebook dropped it like the "I don't want to play with you anymore" meme from Toy Story. We'll likely see a very similar response with the release of the Quest 3. The Quest 2, like the original Quest before it, will still get some small software improvements and support for games over the coming years, while the newer Quest 3 gets the much bigger and integral updates. So what are your options? Starting with if you don't already own a Quest 2. Right now, if you don't already own a Quest 2, this is a decision truly down to your own patience and how much of an investment the Quest 2 is for you and what you're planning on using the headset for. If you don't mind waiting seemingly a little less than a year for what seems to be a pretty huge generational leap, at least from what Mark has been saying in recent interviews, obviously then hold off on the Quest 2. This is especially true if money's tight and having money for the Quest 3 in a year's time isn't guaranteed. I know for my younger audience, scraping up enough money via chores or allowance for a Quest 2 is tough as Investing that into something that seemingly in less than a year will be superseded is definitely cause for some concern. It's also worth mentioning that yes, you could always sell your Quest 2 once the 3 releases, but a similar situation happened with Quest 1 users and even Rift S users, where many tried to sell their Quest 1 or Rift S in an attempt to upgrade to the Quest 2, but either had to severely undercut the value of the headset to just get it to sell, or not have it sell at all. So selling your Quest 2 once the Quest 3 releases will likely mean a good hit to the original price that you paid for the headset. This also affects users that perhaps bought the Quest 2 at $300 retail price and are now punching themselves seeing it be listed for likely much less once the superior Quest 3 releases. Now, obviously, none of what I just said matters at all if $300 isn't a huge hit to you. Sure, if you don't mind picking up a Quest 2 for $300 right now and then dropping another $300 or so in a year's time for a Quest 3, then go for it. The Quest 2 is still virtually one of the best VR headsets you can buy right now, especially for an average user, and you're still going to get a good year's worth of solid VR gaming out of it. Now, next up is if you already own a Quest 2. If you pick one up, whether it be recently or long ago, I really wouldn't let this news get you too much. The Quest 2 is still a freaking amazing headset and will still do everything that it currently does. If you love your Quest 2 now, you'll still love it in a year's time. Granted, with some jealousy towards the new Quest 3 users. You're gonna have to decide if that jealousy is actually worth acting upon by returning or selling your Quest 2 for the Quest 3, or if you can just be content with the Quest 2 as it is. This is especially true if your primary use of the Quest 2 is exercise or games that likely won't take too much advantage of the Quest 3's new features. And finally is if you should go for another VR headset entirely. Ditch Facebook and the Quest platform and instead look at someone like HTC or Valve. Well, as of right now, I personally wouldn't suggest it. I mean, look at my Index versus Quest 2 video. I love my Index a lot, but I can't lie, it's definitely something that's starting to look like dated hardware in comparison to even the Quest 2. Like I previously mentioned, the lower res display, the lighthouse tracking solution that has to be drilled into your wall, the need for a good gaming PC. Even on my 3090, there are some games that don't want to run with the Index because of the lack of proper optimization for it because less people own it. Therefore, there's not as much incentive for many developers to properly optimize for the Index and instead prioritize the Quest 2 due to its high user base. It's still something I have to deal with Project Cars, Dirt Rally 1 and 2. Just some games aren't shown the right love and attention for the Valve Index, and instead I have to end up using my Quest 2. The lack of wireless support as well, and still hardware issues like thumbstick drift still being seemingly ignored by Valve. Only recently did we finally get the ability to even purchase a replacement cable. The Index cable has been notorious for breaking very easily due to its unbraided and seemingly pretty unprotected nature, and if you were outside of warranty and your cable broke, you weren't getting a new one. Not to mention this replacement cable is around $150 as well. I just can't recommend the Index to anyone right right now, other than fringe cases like content creators with specific needs for it, or people who really need body tracking. Not to mention Valve's new VR headset that's already got patents for it, that's seemingly acting as a sequel to the Valve Index. HTC, as well, as I briefly mentioned, hasn't made any huge generational leaps with their new headsets either. Some general improvements to the displays, slightly wider FOV, wireless support in the form of the Vive Focus 3, but nothing truly huge that pushes this medium further in the same way that the Quest 3 is promising, or Valve's new Neuralink looking headset. So hopefully I provided you as the viewer as many angles to look at this as possible, and now you can hopefully make an informed decision. If you want to ask me directly, check out my Twitch or go to my Discord, because I can respond to you directly on there. And if you want to win yourself that previously mentioned Synthreader's key, tell me what your informed decision is. Sticking with the Quest 2 ride or die style, planning on selling, waiting potentially for the Quest 3, jumping ship to a completely different manufacturer. I want to know in the comments down below. Also, of course, make sure you've liked and subscribed, as I'll be picking people from my subscribers list. And the winner from the last video's giveaway is 2 Easy Dragon. Reply to me in the response to that comment or over on your channel discussion page so I can get this key to you as soon as possible. Okay, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you got to this point, you are the true MVP. Thank you. You keep these videos recommended. You're the reason for this channel's success, so thank you for keeping the watch time high. I really do appreciate it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bye-bye. Do you guys like my new shirt? Great Wave or Kangawa? I like this shirt. It's hella nice. Finally, I have more than like 3 pieces of clothing. By the way, I'll be streaming right after I upload this video, so make sure you check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/GetHip, as you can catch me live right after this video releases, and probably also the day after again. I'll be streaming back to back probably. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it, and I'm gonna work on this video before I run out of time. Okay, bye-bye. Peace. Ha 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 ha.